Alright, so recording is started. Today is August 24th already. It's crazy. And we got a few questions in, so we'll start with these. Again, not a ton of people on. David might have forgot to put this link in Project J. Someone mentioned they couldn't find it. So we have plenty of time to get in detail into any questions we got. So we have 3 in so far. First one is from Christina. I have a client that posts his products on various forums very frequently. When I look at his backlinks, I can see tons of backlinks per forum domain. Is this something I should be worried about since all the links have the same anchor text? Right now, it is all branded URLs, but I worry once he starts using keyword anchors. Any advice? I mean, if they're all coming from the same domain, that's not going to hurt you as much as you would think, I would say, but especially since they're branded. But I would be careful doing that with keyword anchor text. So, I mean, I would save the keyword stuff for your PBN type stuff, Christina. But at the same time, you know, if you have like a site-wide link or something like this, like on a forum that's appearing on multiple pages, it's optimized a little differently. It's still just one domain linking to you, but if you overdo it, you can cause problems. So, all right, for my niece, how to find products that I can do affiliate for. For instance, you have many e-cigarette coupon links in the affiliate site you create as an example. If I do choose a different niche, how do I find the products for which I can do affiliate, cosmetic, or you mentioned guitar niche? How did you find the affiliate links for various e-cigs? Sorry, I haven't watched all the affiliate training. Just go and type in Google and do e-cig affiliate programs. I mean, you got Blue Cigs here. These probably have all the affiliate programs. This is probably like a list of affiliate programs that are out there. And whoever has this site will get secondhand commission. These are all the ones on share sale, I guess. You know, you got Halo here, Vapor Fee. This might be a list here. Now, just on this first page, you got Blue Cigs, you got Virgin Vapor, you got Vapor Fee, Halo Cigs, South Beach Smoke, UK E-Cig, Mount Baker Vapor. So there's like 6 just on the first page. And a lot of times there'll be people who will list like a whole bunch of affiliate programs. Like for example, this here's just an idea of how you can make money. So if you rank for e-cig affiliate programs and you tell people like about the best affiliate programs, right, in the e-cig niche, when they click on the link to go sign up for the affiliate program through your site, then you're going to get credit for that as a secondhand affiliate. So any sales they make, you make money as well. So I mean, that's just an idea right there on the type of stuff you can do with affiliate. Like people don't think of this type of stuff. You know, a lot of people probably type this type of stuff in, and they'd probably be looking for a list of affiliate programs. If you can rank for this and just list a whole list of affiliate programs, and people are signing up through your link, any sales they make, you're going to be making secondhand sales. And I know people who make tens of thousands of dollars doing this. Or if you get the right affiliate on board, the right affiliate sees your site and signs up for the affiliate programs through your links, where you're getting second-tier commissions, I mean, that's like automated commission on anything they make. I mean, it's a little bit of luck involved with that one, but that's the type of stuff that you can really think outside the box with. And, you know, it's almost like playing the lottery a little bit because you can get nothing out of it or you can strike gold. You know, if you get a big affiliate on board through your affiliate link, you can make money for years and years and years from doing nothing, just from getting the right person signed up under you. I'm trying to find one that does that. Looks like no one is doing that, surprisingly. It's probably not that hard to rank for. Alright, so this guy, he has a mailing list. So he's building a mailing list, and then he'll email you, you know, the top 10. He'll get credit for referring you there, and then he's also got you on his mailing list. You know, where he can, like, you know, get you on other ones. So yeah, that's just an idea of how you can kind of think outside the box with affiliate type stuff. Again, I know people making a lot of money doing that. Alright, I am creating a siloed site. What should I put in DWS silo build or meta information description field to the best optimization? Anything about that tool I need, so I would talk to Network Empire about. That's their tool, so they know the best practices for that. All right, from Jeff, is there any situation, example high DA, where you would set up social properties for PBNs, or why would you ever do it? Plep seems to like to do it. Just wondering about the different schools of thought. Yeah, I mean, it can help with power, help make it look real, help build trust. I don't do it a lot, to be honest, just because I have so many and I have a lot of testing, don't really have time. I mean, you could have a VA do it all pretty easily, but I've never done it. But yeah, I mean, it can just add in extra safety and power and all that. Just help it look real. I know Stephen Floyd does that, so it's up to you where you want to go. It works fine without him. All right, for Jeff, regarding frequency of links, I see in your new PBN safety video, August 2015, you posted all 4 articles and links on the same day. Is it generally okay to do that for a well-developed aged money site? Secondly, I've been firing 1 link from each of the 4 articles: Facebook, YouTube, Interpage, homepage. Am I overdoing it without approach? I mean, if you keep that trend up, Jeff, it could be overdoing it. But I mean, doing it like every once in a while is not. I would say is not. If you keep that trend up, you're linking Facebook, YouTube, Interpage, homepage. Facebook, YouTube, Interpage, homepage. That's a pattern. That's a pattern is kind of a footprint. So just be aware of creating patterns like that, which is a footprint. Now you can maybe next time link to a Twitter and maybe just the home page, right? So you're linking to a property you haven't linked to at all with the home page. And then maybe the next time you link to Facebook, Twitter, and the home page, right? You haven't really linked to them together. Then maybe the next one you just link to the home page or an interpage, or maybe both. So you can link to multiple places like that, Jeff, but I would just be careful of creating a pattern. And link frequency, guys, I don't see creating a whole bunch of links at once a problem. I answered a question on this in the Facebook group just now, actually. It's not really a problem sending like 5 PBN links all at once to a brand new site. That's something that Google can't really penalize, because if a site has a little bit of exposure someday for any reason, whether it's I don't know, maybe it's a popular press release they did, or maybe they did some small advertising, any reason where they're just being exposed a little more, 5 links in a day is really natural. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. So you can do all your links at once like that. There's no problem with that, even for a brand new site, because I mean that's something that can naturally happen. The problem is the quicker you do your links, the more you have to understand optimization, right? Because once you're over optimized, especially with backlinks, it's harder to fix it. Whereas if you're doing them slower, then you can kind of see how the site reacts and then make a decision on your next link. So that's why it's important to understand over optimization. You can move quicker like that. Like, I mean, I have sites out there where, making thousands of dollars a month, where I literally did 1 day of linking. I did like 7, 8 links all in 1 day, let them kick in. It might take a month or 2 for it to fully kick in, 3 months. And then once everything hits, it bounces up to page 1, because I understand how to optimize it correctly. May be a little tweaking on page and stuff, but for the most part, if you understand how to optimize correctly, you can do them all at once like that. Just play with your own page a little bit and you'll be fine. So it's just regarding frequency, it's just about, I think, how much you understand optimization. You can send all the links at once. Just make sure you know what you're doing, because once you over optimize, it can be a little hard to fix, depending what you're, how you do it. All right, I've been using Network Solutions to host my e-commerce money site for nearly 5 years. It's a major project and cost to move it on my current budget. What would you do? I'm firing PBNs to it from a variety of hosts. I mean, if your money site's on Network Solutions, that's probably not a problem, Jeff, as long as you're not linking to it with other sites on Network Solutions. But if your money site's there, that shouldn't be a problem. Do we need to worry about setting up aliases on our PBN hosting accounts? I don't know what you mean by setting up aliases, whether you're talking about like billing or actual on page. Billing, I don't worry about it on page. I'll create like a name sometimes. Sometimes I'll stick with admin. I'll switch it up. Should we move sites hosted on IP networks to regular hosts, or just leave the ones already on them, but make sure the new ones are not on IP networks? Covered this on the FAQ webinar, David. See that webinar with Cotton? I went into this in detail. About an hour into the webinar, I believe it was the August 20th webinar, either the 19th or 20th. Starting an hour, I covered the frequently most answered questions, and that's one of them. Alright, I'm going through the domination pillar, more specifically the Web 2.0 posting. You mentioned making a network of Web 2.0 blogs. Do you use company branded or keyword based properties? For example, my company name.tumblr versus dogtrainingtips.tumblr, or do you set up both? I don't know if I really talked about making a network with Web 2.0s, more kind of using them as a buffer. But you can do either way. Just if you're doing my company name.tumblr, then that allows you to use a little more keyword anchor text, because your optimization's down in your URL. Whereas for this one here, you want to go not as aggressive with your keyword anchor text. So you can go either way. I think it just depends on the situation. I've done both. It just depends, I guess, on the situation. But both are fine. Just be careful with keywords when you have keyword in the domain or in the URL. Just go a little lighter on the keywords, whereas this one you can be a little more aggressive. With using Social Explosion on your PBNs, do we also need to have social accounts created for each PBN in order for it to look natural that we're getting the social signals going to the PBN, or does this not matter? I usually don't create socials for my PBN, Steve. You can. Again, Stephen Floyd does. I think it's a good idea, but I don't. It works totally fine. But of course, it's just going to help long term. If you do it, I think it makes it look more natural. So it's up to you if you want to do that extra work. I just have so many and I do so much testing that it would be a lot of extra work for me. The benefit of OMG is if something happens with my PBNs and nothing happens with Stevens, then we know, well, guess what? Setting up socials is a really big deal. Whereas right now, it's not. I don't want to say that and push people away from creating it, because again, it can be a good long-term strategy. It can be beneficial long-term, and it can create a little more power and trust. But at the same time, I'm not doing it for the most part, and I'm having no problems. So just consider what you want and what you want to do. I posted a video on YouTube and made some title changes on the main site. My client's ranking for his main keyword, Painter's Auckland, dropped one of his keywords. Painter disappeared all the way down to 89. Can you have a look at the site and YouTube video to see if I'm doing something wrong? This is my first client and I'm freaking out. Again, I covered this on the FAQ webinar. Anytime you do something like that, I need as much information as possible. Like how old the site is, how many links you've done, what type of links, anchor text you used, all that. I need all that information to answer stuff like that. But I'll take a quick look and see what comes up. Alright, so it's from 2012, so it's plenty old enough. Shouldn't be any sandbox. Looks like there's been links being built since May. You only have 6 referring domains. Okay. Yeah, again, I mean, all you're doing really is building. All you really have here is branded anchor text. So I'm guessing you have hidden links. Like I would definitely need more information on this, like when it dropped, what you did before it dropped, what type of PBNs you've done, the power of those PBNs, what anchor text you use, all that type of stuff. All right, because I can't really see anything here. They'll give me a specific answer. All right, when trying to rank for a specific country for a keyword, would it be best to use links from country-specific PBNs? Example, having a .co.uk domain one to rank in google.co.uk. Also, can you rank YouTube videos for specific country-specific Google engines? Thanks. I haven't really messed with that Barrington too much, but from what I understand, people in other countries have used, .com, .net, .org, all those sites, and no country-specific, and they've ranked fine. You can double check in the Facebook group, and I'm almost positive on that. I'm in the UK, so I'll be able to have my PBNs on UK hosting and all sites registered in the UK. I'll be working with UK companies only, at least initially. No, I'm not. I'm pretty sure no, Steve. And I think we talked about this on the FAQ webinar. I think Derek chimed in because he's from Canada and he doesn't use, Canada PBNs, and he does fine. So same thing with like James Upjohn. So and you can discuss this with people in other countries. The problem is I don't have any data on that really because I haven't really done other countries, so I don't know firsthand. And I only like, answering questions where I know 100% from testing data. And in this case, I don't have any testing data on other countries really. Do you use a dedicated IP for hosting each new PBN on the same host? Again, this is covered in FAQ webinar, David. A simulation with Cotton either the 19th or 20th on how I do PBNs exactly. When we see websites with less powerful links than yours, not sure if you had such experience. What kind of actions do you do besides checking if you are over-optimized? Let me see. I mean, if you're talking about them outranking you, it could be relevance of links. It could be you have a new site. You could be in a sandbox right now. Right now, I think there's a new sandbox out where new sites are just being put in a sandbox for a specific period of time, and we're figuring out how long right now with testing. So I mean, there's a lot of factors that can go in there, Byung. Again, it comes to relevancy too. You got to look at relevancy of links, age, and then anchor text, of course, then on page. Do you recommend not using Chrome browser for posting on PBNs? Not necessarily, David. I mean, I was posting with Chrome and I had absolutely no problems. I switched to Internet Explorer just to be safe, maybe a month ago. It's not that I was having problems with Chrome. It's just, why post with Google's browser when you don't need to? You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just as easy to post in Internet Explorer. It's not as good of a browser, but I mean, it's just as easy. So why even take the risk? Even though I don't think it matters, at least not right now. All right, so we went over that one already. All right, when starting a new affiliate site, do you wait until the site starts to get traffic before adding your affiliate content and or links? Not necessarily, Sherry. In past courses, it's been recommended to wait until you get 10 plus organic visitors a day before adding too many affiliate review type pages or links. Wondering how you do this on new sites? Nah, Sherry, I don't really worry about that anymore. I think a lot of our sites, even though I don't put them up, my partners usually do the on page. They put up the affiliate links right away. We don't see any problem. I think that's an old myth with affiliate links. We haven't seen any problems with that, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. And the myth, by the way, for new people is, if you have affiliate links on your site, that Google's not going to let you rank. Something like that. Like they look down on affiliate links. They don't necessarily look down on affiliate links. They look at the optimization of your site. Alright, new to OMG, went through David's intro, now going through Fletch's 101. Where should I go now on the train to get the basis of SEO? Supremacy series, pillars of SEO, OTS series. I would go through all those actually, Steve. Make sure you go through Sink or Swim, understand how to, proper optimization, especially with anchor text. And then Pillars of SEO is a good one. The March, April, May Mastery webinar and the Over the Shoulder series is a good one as well. So. Alright, for Michelle, newbie question. I'm setting up my PBM for the first time. My new host sent me the name servers and IP address. I updated the name servers, and my question is about updating the IP addresses. I'm hosting with HostGator and wondering if the IP address needs to be updated on all the zone file records. For example, there are CNAME records and A records, several of each. Do they need to all be updated? You don't need to touch any of that stuff, Michelle. Again, I would watch the FAQ webinar. I cover exactly how I host my PBNs, Michelle. I think that will really help you. It's actually the first question I answer. It's about an hour into Cotton's assimilation webinar from about 4 or 5 days ago, the 19th or the 20th. And we're going to be chopping that up, each question, and putting it in a section, I believe. That way people can go to those FAQs and just get the video right away instead of going through that whole webinar and trying to find it. Because these questions get asked a lot. But all the CNAME and A record stuff, Michelle, that was for like SEO hosting. You don't need to worry about that stuff anymore. And I explain why in that FAQ webinar. Alright, from Craig, can a site that is penalized still pass juice cleanly and fully? Or does a penalized site for thin content pass that penalty to the site it links to? I don't know if anyone really knows this for sure, Craig. People might answer it what they think. I've never tested on it, or I've never had like test results that give me a specific answer for that, so I don't know. What I do know is, if you're linking from a penalized site to a new site that has no links, you're much more likely to pass the penalty. Whereas if you're linking to a site that's already established and has a lot of links, a lot of trustworthy links, it's not going to really hurt that site. I don't know if it will help it or not, help it move up, because I've never really tested for that. But I know it won't hurt it. If you have a site that, because if it could, then negative SEO would be too easy. But the newer the site, the less powerful it is, the easier it is to pass penalties by doing that. So the answer is, it can pass the penalty depending on the site. But whether it can help it or not, I don't know. I don't know if a penalized link can help or not. I've never really tested for it. And it's really hard now to test for stuff like that because of the link delays. And because usually, if like I send a penalized link, I'd usually do other stuff in between before that link even kicks in. Like, I'll start testing something else in the domain as well. So it's really hard to test now with the link delays they put in for stuff like that specifically. My answer would be just try not to use them. We teach the how to check for a spam penalty. I recommend you use that all the time. Other than that, just try not to get links from penalized sites. I'd rather not have them. Let's put it that way. Alright, when using Web 2.0s for DAS, is it okay if they are obviously owned by the money site owner, or do we need to make them appear like they may be owned by someone else in terms of the URL for the Web 2.0 content? I think it's okay if they're owned by the same person, Steve, in most cases. I missed the answer to the question earlier about if we need to worry about creating aliases for our PBNs. My internet cut out. Can you repeat? Yeah, I don't know if you were talking about aliases as far as billing or like on page, like with like changing the admin name. But I don't worry about the billing section. And then for on page, sometimes I'll create a name with the WordPress admin thing. You can like put a name because it'll show like who writ the post. Sometimes I'll do that, but that's as far as I take it. Alright, from Steve. When working on my PBNs, I've been using Opera browser, and before logging into my PBNs, I've been making sure I'm signing out of anything Google related and social accounts in the browser, and then using a private browser window. Is it all necessary, and is there anything else I should be doing for safety when logging in and linking out my PBNs? I mean, again, the only thing I'm doing is using Internet Explorer, Steve. Because usually with Firefox, I'm logged into my Google account, my Gmail. So I don't use Firefox. I don't use Chrome because that is Google's browser. So I just use Internet Explorer because I never use Internet Explorer. So that's the only thing I use it for is that. I mean, that's all I do. Honestly, even if I think if I use Firefox where I was logged into Google, I don't think it would matter. I'm being honest with you. But again, why even take the risk? Because I mean, it's pretty easy to bring up Internet Explorer and just work through that. But in all honesty, I'm pretty sure, even if you're logged into Google and using Chrome, I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think they're tracking that right now. That's just my opinion. But again, I wouldn't even take the risk. Is it possible to have a quick look at the keyword electrician Melbourne and see how difficult the competition is? Just an experienced guess at the level of difficulty. Yeah, we don't have many questions, so we can definitely do that. David, should I go to the Australian Google engine? Let me know in the question box, and I don't know if you want me to bring that up in US or Australia's Google Australia. Just let me know which one you're looking. Okay, google.com.au. All right. So first one is a regular site. Then we got yellow pages. We got a partial EMD there. Partial. So it looks like mostly just businesses. Then we got True Local and Yellow Pages. Let's go take a look at the first guy. Sometimes the inner pages rank, it can be a little more confusing to gauge competition because you gotta look at the home page as well. But we'll know more when we look at the other guys as well. So what I'm gonna do is just throw him into here. Let's see what his domain authority is to. Okay, so he has a lot of links to that page. Let me see. Go to this exact URL. Yeah, he has a lot of links to that URL. Jesus. Looks like this page is actually spammed. He had no referring domains in February, all the way up to like over 400 in April. So that's February, March, April. In 2 months, he got 400 new referring domains. So this is a spam job here. Very well done, too. Yeah, spam, spam, spam. So this is hard to gauge because these could have been disavowed. So let's go look at the home page. Same thing there, kind of spammed. This one's going to be really hard to gauge. Yeah, I'm guessing they probably did a disavow on all those spam. If they didn't, it might affect them soon. So this site here is really hard to gauge, the first one. So let's go look at another one. We're going to skip yellow pages. Let's go to this guy here. Should be a lot easier. They all got a lot of links. $343 referring domains. Looks like they were spammed too. Look at this, they were spammed the same time the other guys were spammed. So someone might have came in and just spammed the competition. And tried to negative SEO. Alright, so they got 5 referring domains with this exact. Yep, someone spammed the competition because look at the anchor text. Same exact anchor text used as the previous one. So someone came in here and spammed the competition. But it looks like this site had links before, so we can kind of just assume that they disavowed or those spam links didn't affect them yet. So we'll just kind of uninclude all these and go off this here. Let's see, they got 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 referring domains, which isn't that much. And most of them aren't doing much for them. You know, these all right here aren't really doing much for them as far as optimization. Then they got some branded, and then they got a couple exact match here, or actually mostly exact match. Electrical Melbourne, Electrician Melbourne. So I want to see where these are coming from. They're coming from pretty high, pretty good sites here. That's not even there anymore. I'm just trying to see what type of links these are, if they're like PBNs or what. So no page authority. Alright, so these aren't really that strong of links. But if I was doing a thorough analysis, I would, look at more of these. I'm mainly concerned about the, the keyword that we're going after. So for that, the first one isn't even there anymore, it looks like, or it's having a problem. Oh, it did come up. Again, no page authority. Just has domain authority on the domain. So that's not even like a strong link there. Very high domain authority, no page authority. You might be able to get some of these same links, by the way. You can always use this to kind of get links in the same places or try to. But that one, the links aren't very strong, but their optimization is pretty good. They got some branding, some generic, and then keyword optimized. They were pretty aggressive with it too, and it worked for them. Oh, they were number 3. Yeah. Let's go look at number 4 really quick. Whoops. Alright, so these guys actually weren't spammed, it looks like. This will be a little easier to read. So 121 referring domains. Yeah, they actually were spammed a little bit. So they got a lot of branded anchor text. And then they have a mix in of keywords here, some keywords in here, some keywords in here. Here's keyword. It's a very relevant link there. It has some page threads. Pretty good. That's a decent link because it's relevant. Let me go look at their top links. Let's see if they have any keyword in the top. Spam, spam, spam. They did a little bit of article marketing, press releases. This whole niche was spam though. Someone came in and just tried to knock out the competition with spam. Not more article marketing. So, I mean, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't really look that competitive. I mean, that question always depends on who you ask. It's a little hard to read with all the spam, but I definitely wouldn't be too worried about this niche. I mean, you can come in and just get some branded anchor text with some blog commenting or something like that if you want, or some press releases. Hit it with some keyword anchors with some decent PBNs, and you're going to be up here. Again, just remember the delays in place. You know, if you have a brand new site, you're going to be in the sandbox for a little bit before you go on the first page. But you know, if it's an existing client where they're on like page 3, 4 already, and they have you know, they're at least 6 months old, I would say, hopefully a year or more, then I think you can move them up pretty quickly, you know, over a couple months. But yeah, I mean, it's not that competitive, I would say. Maybe on a scale of 1 to 10. Again, it depends who you ask, but probably like a 3, I would say. All right, let's see. From Steven. What video to watch to learn how to check to see if you have a spam penalty? Is that where you check for a space between your domain and extension? Yeah, you can check that on the March, April, May Master webinar, or again, I cover it in the FAQ webinar we just did. Again, that's Cotton's assimilation webinar from like the 20th or whatever it was, August 20th. I meant the fake info thing for PBN. So do you mean you don't create fake profile for the domain hosting? You just change the name on the actual WordPress site to say who the post is from? I mean, not necessarily, Steve. I didn't know if that's what you were asking. If you're talking about the who is information, usually I just use private, but sometimes I will use fake who is information. Not often, though. I'm lazy with that. All right, for Michelle, thanks for pointing me in the right direction, but can you help me find the replay of Cotton's FAQ from the other day that you were talking about? I don't see it. Right now, may not be looking in the right place. Looked under Cotton's replays. The only one there is August 12th. It might not be up yet. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's not up yet. So that will be up soon. When it does get posted, make sure you watch it. The reason it's probably not up yet is because they're probably chopping it up. They're probably chopping the questions up in different videos so they're easy to view. That's what I'm guessing is going on. But that will be up very soon. All right, from Steven. How can you tell if you've used keyword phrases too much or if you use it less, your ranking goes up higher? Is there software you recommend like Website Order or Web SEO to look at the top 10 results and tell you how many times you need to aim for it, having your keyword phrase and your domain URL, headlines, alt tags, links, and content? Again, covered in the FAQ webinar, optimization. All right, so when that comes out, make sure you watch that. Because it all depends on many factors, like, you know, I look at competition, but I also consider the other optimization factors. You know, someone with an EMD who's number one is going to be optimized differently than someone who has a brand, you know. So you can look at the competition to see what they're doing, but understand the other optimization factors. Like, you know, if it's a brand with a ton of keyword anchor and you're a brand with a whole bunch of brand anchor, it's going to be different optimizations. So you got to consider that. But you can use competition to gauge, like get an idea. All right, from Gad, on-site question. I have a site that is based in a certain suburb and trying to rank for 3 main keywords in that suburb plus 2 surrounding small suburbs. So there's 3 keywords times 3 suburbs that are targeted. The verified address is in suburb 1. It was ranking for the 3 keywords in that suburb, but not the other 2. How would you go about structuring the site to rank for the other suburbs? I was thinking about targeting the suburb towards the home page and creating subpages. I would probably need to see that site. Yeah, that's hard to picture without seeing the actual site. So I mean, you can message me and ask me that if you want. All right, what toolbar are you using below the Moz plugin in your toolbar? Is not SEO Quake, is it? I think you're talking about this one here. Might be the Alexa toolbar. It's either SEO Quake or Alexa toolbar, I believe. It should be one of those two. I haven't installed it in a while, so I'm not positive, but it should be one of those two. All right, how important is the spam score of the Moz Open Site Explorer? It appears Moz added recently before a lot of the recordings you guys did. Like concerning PBNs, do you make sure your PBNs have a spam score of 3 or less, or 0 or less, 5 or less, according to Open Site Explorer? No. I don't really look at it, Steven, to be honest. When it first came out, I considered it, and I looked at the links, but they give like spam points and stuff I don't really care about, so I don't want to say I don't look at it, but it's not like my deciding factor. Like there's sites with medium spam that I've picked up that have been powerful for me. So my client site is about a couple years old with a DA12. Okay, over the thing we just went over. Yes, I mean if their site's been up already for a couple years, I mean, and they have a little bit of DA, it shouldn't be that hard, David. I know it may be hard to give a simple answer, but how hard is it to rank a website for Hotels City? Is it possible to outrank the authority sites like Kayak and Expedia if they're not optimizing for the keyword? Can you give an approximate about how long it would take to see results or about how many PBNs? Yeah, it's impossible to answer. It depends on what kind of site you're using, how old it is, quality of PBNs, how you're optimizing, how good you are at, anchor text stuff. How big the city is huge. So I'm sure, hotels big city is going to be pretty competitive, no matter what. Yeah, that's going to be tough. I mean, I don't see, that's one good. This is one of the normal sites rank. I've never heard of this site, so I'm guessing it's a normal site. Oh yeah, they got a ton of domain authority. And they got relevant links. Yeah, these are all relevant. They're all from like Chicago type sites. They got Chicago in the title, Chicago in the URL, City of Chicago. These are all very relevant. So not only is it strong, but it's relevant. And they were number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're number 6 with those type of metrics. So yeah, I mean this is going to be very tough. Not that it can't be done, but you're going to need a lot of firepower. Yeah, and these guys got DA 84, PA 49. I'm surprised they're being outranked by the first guys. They might have a very well optimized homepage for that type of stuff. Yeah, it's probably the anchors they got going to the homepage that's powering that inner page. I mean, they're extremely powerful. 84, 87 is extremely powerful. So yeah, I mean, it looks like the big cities are going to be extremely hard to rank for. Again, not that you can't do it, but you better have a lot of firepower. Let's look for a smaller city. City I'm from. We're in Google, Australia. So again, we got TripAdvisor, Hotels.com, Expedia, Visit Wilmington, Kayak, Hilton, Priceline. So all very big sites. This is the smallest one that I see. I don't mind seeing big sites on the first page, but it's a little bit of a red flag when you see all big sites. So it looks like the little cities are obviously a lot more doable, but it's still going to be a fight. Like you're going to have to make sure you still have some firepower for these little cities even. Wilmington probably has 80,000 people. And again, a lot of these are relevant links. A lot of, you see Delaware in the title. You see Delaware in the URL. That's relevancy. Delaware. Wilmington, anchor text. So these are relevant links too. So you're going to be fighting. You're going to make sure that you have a good budget for doing this. All right. So that's how you can kind of get an idea. Is there a master list of all the hosts that can be used for PBNs? No. Just because if there was a master list, everyone would be using the same exact ones, Davis. We haven't created that. Very interesting to see you analyze that site with all the failings. If this was a potential client for you, would you still work on this site? Or is it better to recommend a new site? Would it hurt your network to link to them with your PBNs? I have a similar potential client. I've been looking into their site. They have spam links, and the anchor text is just each single letter of the alphabet. They were also hacked last week, but the site is recovered now. It is still saying in the description in Google search for the site may be hacked. It still rank for some keywords, some low competition keywords, but nothing else. Apparently the site hasn't ever ranked for much either. It's better to recommend a new site in this case. I would probably explain to them, first of all, I would see if they disavowed the spam links, and if they haven't, I would disavow them. And then from there, I would explain that, we can work on this site, but there's a little bit of risk that these spam links will negatively affect it, down the road. Just make sure they know that. And then, we could start a new site, but then the new site is going to take a lot longer to rank. So I would explain to them the situation and let them decide what route they want to take, whether it's, risk the spam links affecting them or take their time and build a new site where it's going to take time to rank. So I'll kind of explain the situation to them and let them decide what they want to do. What do you do if your PBN is de-indexed? You remove links. This is covered on the FAQ webinar as well, David. And that's why we did that FAQ webinar, because we get a lot of the same questions, and then people can just go and, get a detailed answer right away. Alright, I've canceled one domain name with GoDaddy after I register it on HostGator, and I see my real information when I type that name. I thought deleting the product will delete everything, but was wrong, I guess. Can you help with some advice? I mean, if you canceled the domain, I wouldn't worry about it later, because if you canceled it, you're not using it. Just, if your information showing, either put fake information in or get privacy. But again, if you're not using the domain, it doesn't matter. If you delete it and you're not using it, it doesn't matter. What factors do you consider in determining whether to link directly to a money site or to link through a Web 2.0, which you do most of the time? I link directly to the money site most of the time, Kathy. The reason I recommend Web 2.0 for most people is because you're much less likely to get into trouble. You can make mistakes and get away with it. Let's put it that way. So it's a good place for a lot of people to start, because then it powers up the Web 2.0s, which can rank on their own, and then it also pass trust to your money site. So then later, if you go straight to the money site, you have less of a chance of messing up your money site because it already has that trust built. Remember, like a brand new site with no links to it, if you send something messed up to it in the beginning, it's going to mess up the whole rest of the road. So that's why with beginners, I recommend Web 2.0s first. That way, you're not just building up the Web 2.0s, but you're also building up the money site, and it just makes everything safer. And so most people, I do recommend the Web 2.0 method, going there first and just at least building the trust of your money site before you do anything to it. Because then even after you do the Web 2.0 stuff, even if you mess up something directly to your money site, it's a much less chance of it being negatively affected because it already has some trust built up. Again, remember, Google's probability based. The more trust a site has, the less likely a spammy type link is to hurt it, or a footprint or something like that. Because if that were easy to do, negative SEO would be a lot easier. So they got to consider those things. When buying PBNs, I also have been doing the penalty check before placing a bid. You can't do a penalty check before. Unfortunately, doing penalty checks before you buy it will not work. The site has to be set up for a few days and have some content on there. I always do those dummy posts I talk about, and then I'll do the penalty check a few days later. What's your take on hosting providers listed in Web Hosting Talk? Are they decent to use for PBNs? Again, I cover what I used in the FAQ webinar. I literally just go to Google, list of hosting providers, bring up a list, and just use hosts like this. I always go to people that have one-click install. I go to the site and I'll look to see if they have one-click install for WordPress, because I'm not a technical guy, so I don't want to have to be uploading stuff. Most people here want to find the same thing. So before you sign up for anyone, look for easy install WordPress. Something that hints that they do that. If they don't have anything, email them, or just, go to their support section, say, do you have one-click install for WordPress? Or you're going to be trying to do a whole bunch of FTP stuff. If you're not tech savvy like me, it's going to waste a lot of time. So, but I use hosts like this as long as they have one-click install. You are welcome, Stephen. Thank you. What would you suggest for ranking a Google Biz page for the same keyword hotel city? I noticed a potential client in the top 3 local listings for hotels in city, but not for hotel city. Thanks again for going in depth to explain. I've never really tried to rank a Google business page, but it would be the same thing. It's just as long as that page is optimized with that content, then you can rank it. But as far as why someone would rank for hotels in city but not hotel city, it just comes down to optimization. And Google has been a lot more touchy with this type of stuff. Like, a year ago, if you ranked for hotel city, you would rank for hotels in city as well. Whereas now they're a lot more touchy with optimization, where you can rank for this version and be nowhere to be found for this version. They're just very touchy with the optimization. So there's just something going on with optimization where they either have this too much, or they don't have this at all, or something like that. So we got a few more questions here. Where did you say the FAQ webinar that we need to watch is located? It's not there yet, Stephen. It will be in Cotton's section when it gets up. They're probably breaking it up right now, but it'll be under Cotton Grammar main page, August replays, and it'll be right in here. It should be up very, very soon. They're probably chopping up the questions, I'm guessing. Do you recommend FCS Networker to build a bunch of Web 2.0s to your money site, or do you have a better way to build Web 2.0s? I don't use it, Stephen. I just build them manually. I have VA type people build them if I do them. I registered a PBN domain a few weeks ago with internetbs.net with fake info and haven't gotten around to setting this one up yet, as I've been working with other ones. However, last Monday I got an email from internetbs.net saying the registry blocked the domain for the following reason: data quality, cancellation date for the domains, and then I presume this is because of the fake info. I'm not sure what to do about this. Has this happened to you before? I know nothing about it. And I don't mess with fake info too much, Steve, so I'm not sure. And I've never used that provider, internetbs.net, so I have no idea on that one. Best way to attract new clients in competitive SEO city, i.e. Tampa, Florida. I would talk to I'll talk to Cotton about any type of client stuff, Sarah. He's extremely, extremely good at client stuff, whereas I'm not. So let's see if we got any more questions. None? So I'm going to give it like another 30 seconds for any final questions to roll in. Then we'll wrap up. Good. We got 2 in. Another 10 seconds. Okay. Alright, so let me get these last couple questions, then we'll get rolling. Sarah's asking, how do you get the check? Again, anything client, I would talk to Cotton about, Sarah. He's very, very good at client stuff. I don't usually do this at all anymore, Sarah. Mike will get a client, and he'll deal with the client. I'll just do the SEO. So I don't worry about getting the check at all. Mike just gives me my cut, and I don't deal with the client. So I just wanted to say thanks for what you covered on Cotton's webinar. I have already watched it 5 times, and it's helped me huge. I recorded it Didn't want to wait. Oh, cool. But between what you shared and Fletch's new series, my target this week is 16 PBNs. Awesome, Chris Lee. Stephen, I'm just now starting to build PBNs. Did I hear you say that you cannot determine the actual quality of the PBN before you build the site on the PBN? No, not that you can't determine the quality, but you can't determine if it has a spam penalty when it's in auction phase. The site has to be up with content on it to do the penalty check that I teach. Unfortunately, there's no way that I found to do the penalty check before you get a site up with content on it. Same thing here. All right. So it looks like we are good to go, guys. Yeah, I'm guessing that replay, the FAQ webinar, will be up very, very soon. They're probably just chopping up those questions, and they'll have it up, this week, I'm sure. All right, guys, thanks for coming out. I'll have this recording over to David soon, and it should be up shortly if you need to rewatch anything, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one.